Thank you all so much. Can we lower the sound? Thank you. Please welcome back the director of the film, Shai Carmeli-Pollak. Thank you so much. I'm also pleased to invite up, we're not bringing up the producer of the film, but we'd love to have him here if we can bring out another chair. Please welcome Baher Agbariya. Got it. More chairs. We'll bring up somebody else too. Thank you both so much for being here and for this really beautiful film. I'm going to start this time from the end and ask what happens to them.
After? Well, usually if you get caught without a permit, first time they kick you back on one of the checkpoints and you go back home by foot. Second time you get between 3 to 6 months, and third time you get even more time in prison. This is usually what happens.
Did you ever consider another ending for this film?
Yes, when I first had the idea and I wrote it in one night, so it was almost the same story since the first time I wrote it, but the end was different. I used to do animation films also, and there was like something with animation and working on the script, I realized like I don't have to put my things there. It should be straight the story. So I gave up on this, and it became more connected to reality.
Baher, having a story like this, being told really mostly from the perspective of Arab life, you play a crucial role in making sure this is authentic. How did you help support that?
Yeah, I think because I also, one of the things was that I really liked that script and I loved the work with the Shai, and we did it with the real partnership, working together even in the hard times. So it was to try and make my best to give him the time to work, and to film, and at the same time also, even in the beginning, sometime because of production issues, I was not convinced, for example, to shoot in Bahrain, which is like very difficult because we have to cross the separate wall and and insurance issues, and the Rhino producer is here, she can tell about this. But in the end, it was like, okay, we do it because we
so you shot in the West Bank?
Yes, yeah, we shot in Bahrain, and the other village also it's in the West Bank. It's inside the wall,
They are left
so complicated, like our lives there.
It's like two villages belong to the West Bank, but they are like west of the wall. So like they are like in the Israeli side. So it's like an enclave, and they are like all their life they have to go to work and to buy stuff beyond the wall and to go back to the. But it gave us an opportunity to go to film there without taking the Israeli crew that might, in the beginning we thought it might be a problem insurance-wise, or maybe even people will be afraid of going to the, so it was okay. And the opposite, there was an amazing hospitality there. It was a very, very special experience.
Wow. Shai, what about from your perspective? How you're telling a story that's mostly in Arabic and is within Arab life. How did you prepare yourself for that? How did you really get that perspective?
the preparation was because of the way of life I chose. Like I wear two hats in this film. I'm both a filmmaker, but I'm also a peace activist or anti-occupation activist, and I did it for many, many years. So I know Arabic, and I know the people I got inspired from to write the script, and I love those people, and I respect them, and this is the way. And so I didn't look for a story to write about. I came as an activist, as a protester, and I met people, and everywhere I went to, people were talking about the fact that they are denied of going to the sea. And it's something really, really present in the West Bank. Everybody speaks about it. There's a longing to go there. So beside being witness to a lot of violence, this thing really touched my heart. And also the issue of unemployment. People are looking for work all the time, and some of them cross the border into Israel without documents and put themselves in risk in order to get some livelihood. And some years after, years after I started to go there, suddenly I had this inspiration, and the story was born about this kid that wants to go to the sea, and his father that put himself in risk to look for him.
Let's talk about the casting for a moment. Amazing, the kid especially, and he won an award. He won Best Actor. Is that?
Yeah, he's the youngest Best Actor ever in the Ophir Awards, like the Israeli Oscars. I was looking for a child for some time, and there are no actors, so I just met kids that the casting director showed me, and I felt I didn't find the right one, and then he told me to go to a city. It's a Palestinian city in Israel. It's called Kalansoe, and there is like a Thai books club there. And the moment I went there to meet the children, and the moment I got into the place, I felt, yeah, this is the place I'll find the kid for sure. It's like in the movies, a small place with boxing bags and kids, like very tough kids practicing, and they stopped their practice for me. And I was really excited myself, like for everything to be okay, and I filmed them. And so I was very concentrated with all the technical stuff, and I couldn't see any of them for real. Only later when I got back home and I watched the footage I filmed, suddenly I saw this kid and his merits. And I must tell you, I just watch him now. It's like, he's amazing. He's just amazing the way he acts. And it makes me to be spiritual. I don't know why I met this kid. But I almost didn't have to explain to him what to do. He really understood it. And he's got this mixture of toughness and gentleness in him. And yeah, this is the way I found him.
Amazing. Really did a wonderful job. Baher, there's so much in this film, of course, and it's so many universal themes. You know, it doesn't even. I was thinking how this film could be remade as an American movie, and with illegal immigrants and workers, and how, you know, with ICE out there. I mean, this can be a perfect remake. Have you sold the rights yet? We'll make you an offer later. But Baher, what was most relatable to you when you read the script, and when you see the film? What's most relatable to you about the film?
I think two things. One is that I read the scripts from, let's say it, Israelis filmmakers that wrote about Palestinians. For me, it was the first time that I read a script that so authentic, someone that I feel that I didn't know Shai before. And about his life as a peace activist, but I feel that this guy, he lived there. You know, it's someone that he know the kid, he know the story. It's so authentic, and it's coming from someone not looking on the what happening there. No, he's involved. He's in. So it was like, wow, this is like the thing that I got from the script. And I think also the second thing, because it's a story about a kid, you know, and also a kid that will break borders to do what he wants, and somehow he could remind my, you know, I felt like, okay, I was this kind of kid, you know, that want to jump. This is, I think, like the two things that connect me personally and emotionally to the film, beside, you know, that producing and the professional side.
Thank you. I'll ask one more question, then we'll take some questions from the audience. We'll pass the microphone around. But I want to talk about one of the things I love about this film is the Tel Aviv side of it. And we get this little trip through the ins and outs of Tel Aviv. And we meet all these characters along the way. And what's great is that they're people. It's all very human. They're good, they're bad, they're bullies, they're mothers, and yet there's a statement there. I feel especially profound the last scene where people are sitting outside in a cafe and continue drinking the moment the police pass by. Can you tell me a little bit about the interactions of having this story take place within Tel Aviv?
It's first I wanted to make it as real as possible. So the route that it takes will be a real route, not just jumping from one place to another just to make nice scenes. So this was first my aspiration. And then it went to, I can say, through my personal life in a way, because I put myself in this film a lot. He starts from Bnei Brak. It's a city where my grandparents were living, and I spent a lot of time there, and it's a very special place for me. It's an ultra-Orthodox city in Israel. And I didn't think about the meaning, but then after I wrote it, I said, yeah, it gets to the core of to the past of this place. And then it continues to this terrible junction. It's a place I used to walk nearby, and every time I used to cross this junction, I felt like, oh, it's such a terrible place. And for the film, I felt it's a good place to put this kid, with all this noise and cars. And the area of the central station, it's a place I used to go a lot when I was very active also with asylum seekers that came from Africa to Israel, and many of them are living in this area, like the rough side of Tel Aviv. And it was like a second home for me for many years, and I made a documentary from there also about it. So the African woman he meets, she's an asylum seeker for real, that I knew, and she speaks Arabic because of the journey she did from Ethiopia through Sudan. She learned Arabic, and she came to Israel, and she stayed asylum seeker for a long time, and then she had to move to Canada. And the garden, then he goes to the nicer part of Tel Aviv. So this is the place I used to live nearby for many years. And by the way, the mother and the girl are like my wife and my daughter, and the dog also. And it was the toughest day with my daughter.
You're still married, right?
Yeah. Okay. And you know, and it was for free. We didn't have money, so. About the end, I didn't look because I don't know if you heard, there's a lot of backlash against the film from the Minister of Culture in Israel, and they said this film is accusing the soldiers of being like monsters, and of course you watched it. It's not like this. I don't blame people, but I'm really critical against the system we're living in. We have two systems of law, which are different for Palestinians and for Israelis. And this is why all this system is very discriminative, and it has to be changed. It's not just this government, it was even before, like we did the film before the war. And I wanted to show, maybe it was also by the cinematic side of it, that a viewer in the cinema is watching viewers in the street that watch this scene. And the scene, they just see this scene, they don't know who the people are. And then when it's over, they get back to their life, for like ordinary people. But then when you get back to the audience in the cinema, and they do know the story, they do know who these people are and what happened before they got arrested. So, I don't know, maybe it puts a question, do they get back to their ordinary life after watching this film? So, yeah, I thought about this.
Wonderful. It creates a call to action for the audience to maybe do something and maybe not just go back to the cafe.
I must say that it was screened already quite a lot in Tel Aviv, because it's going to be released this week wide all over the country in Israel. But we had a lot of premiere screenings, and they were like, the theaters were full, and people reacted really, really emotionally to the story, and it was really, really emotional for me also, especially because of the atrocities that happen. And at the same time that atrocities happen in Gaza, people can sit in Tel Aviv and be emotional for a story about a kid, a Palestinian kid, and even shed a tear. And it was like, so I felt, I don't know if films really influence and change people rapidly, but maybe it opens different channels that were closed for a long time because of all the violence and the fear and the hatred. And it opens like channels of compassion and love. And yeah.
Yeah, we always say here in Other Israel that we're going beyond the headlines, and I feel like, the story is often headlines, and here we get humanity, and that reminds us who the people are in all of this. I'll also say about the Ministry of Culture in Israel, if they want to see some films that really criticize Israel, I could show them a few of them. This is not the one. They got better films to take on. We have time for a few questions from the audience. I saw a couple of hands up. We'll pass the microphone.
First of all, I'll talk in English, not Hebrew. The film is wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. And the thing that impressed me the most is it's not preachy. It doesn't, you make your own interpretation of it. And then a stupid question: where did you find the big guy in the bus station in Jerusalem? The bully.
The big guy. Yeah, I was looking a lot. Just I was seeing people like young guys in the street, and I said, "Would you want to take part in a movie?" And it was very difficult. They were like, and then the casting director brought this guy, and he was like, yeah, he was shouting since the beginning. So I was like, okay, sorry, yeah.
Thank you so much. It really, I can barely speak, and I spend a lot of time in the Shtachim, and I see this, and I feel almost nauseous from it, just knowing the situation. I just wonder what reaction you're having from the Hollywood film community and all, so many of the people who are pushing boycotting, and this speaks so clearly to why boycotting of artists should not be happening. What's happening there, and is that impacting the Academy Award race at all?
I don't know. Like, I know there is this call, and I know also I read everything they wrote. So they also wrote that they do aware that there are like some filmmakers are not non-complicit with the government, and they wrote that they are aware that 20% of the citizens in Israel are Palestinians. So I hope they will see the nuances in this film and to see, it's a common work. We work together, And I did, and then, you know, at the end, I look at how I made this film, and I know I did it from a very, very honest place, and I did out of love and respect for the people. And then I can't control about how the other people will accept it, and so I just hope that they will acknowledge this and see the nuances. And
I was fascinated by the small subplots in the kid's journey. There was so many stories that you introduced and left hanging. The relationship between the female shop owner and the father's visit was so sensitive and wrought with so much more story. That the journey as a structure was just wonderful, but I want to know what happened in all those side stories.
This
and
is
I'm
the next
waiting for
film.
the next 5 movies.
The next movie is about this story.
yeah, I get asked a lot about this scene. I feel first for this scene is like the heart of the movie in a way, and after because it's like it's in the move, and then you stop for a long time. And Bayer, by the way, told me you have to cut it short before the, and I said no. This should be this. I would say I wouldn't get into the personal details about because it's like a poet has to explain his poem. But there is something I have to say. It's more like about the situation, because the father is from a generation of people that used to work in Israel. They know the Hebrew language. They have relationship with people. They know the Israeli society. And this is like an opportunity to have something else in the future when you know each other. But this is blocked now, and they are not able to get in anymore. And the generation of the kid is they don't know Hebrew, they can't get in. The only Israelis they meet are soldiers or settlers, sometimes very violent settlers. So in a way, I give this story also. I don't speak about it, but you can feel it, you know. So yeah, there were like relationship between people, and I can say more that everything in this character of the father is inspired by people I know, I took from different people, and inspired by their life. So yeah, also this.
I'm afraid we're out of time. We have a 3:30 film starting here. I Cried in Gaza. You're all welcome to join us for that and for more this whole week. Please spread the word about this film. Please help support this film's road to the Oscars. Let's get this out there. Thank you both so much for being with us.
Thank you,
And
Isaac, for
have a good rest of the day to all of you. Thank you.